I ain't even late, so don't even start that nonsense right there. We are on time. For some reason, this does not want to sit still, so we might have to do a little bit of adjusting first. There we go. One more second. All right. Of course. You know what's funny? This is what the. There we go. This is why we set a timer in the. Now, this has worked 100% of the time, but today it doesn't want to work at all. Do y'all know I use the same tripod for my pack openings? And for some reason today, it just wants to betray me. Now, I don't want to tell you how many minutes total I've been fooling around with this because that would be embarrassing. I just want there to be like an ambiguous amount of time where everybody just assumes that maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes you've had problems. But no worries, we're a little crooked. That doesn't matter. We are here to play some Pokemon Fire Red. And for all of you that are, just tuned in to what's going on in the Pokemon world, Pokemon has announced that we will be getting Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Nintendo Switch after the, Pokemon Direct on February 27th. Now, I'm looking forward to it, and I've heard, some people that are unhappy with the fact that it's not, like a free service or it didn't just add it to the server in a way that made it like simple for people who already had access to the game player. But I don't know anything about this stuff because let's see, what if I lay one of these like flat? Boom. All right, cool. That empty screen is just distracting. I'd rather have just something there than a black screen. But I don't own a Switch. I always said that if Pokemon announces a 10th generation this year for the Switch 2, that I would invest in the Switch 2. And that is to be determined, but there's a lot of speculation that that will happen. So I'm hopeful. I already put money away. But there are people watching this on playback, okay? And they just have to watch that just terrible 3 minutes of figuring out how to balance a phone on a tripod. So for their sake, let's jump into it. If you're new here, let me give you a brief introduction of what we do here. This is my Fire Red Reject Squad. Now, what does that mean exactly? In Pokemon Emerald, I'm currently in the process of trying to build competitive teams. And with competitive teams, there's a lot of breeding, especially IV breeding. But a lot of those eggs, I don't want to go to waste. So if we get Pokemon that have high IVs, but maybe they have the wrong nature, maybe the IVs aren't in the areas I want them in, but they're still good Pokemon. I don't think they should go to waste. So what we have here are the failed experiments of Pokemon that I tried to breed that are still worth keeping and holding on to. So we have Muck right here. I'm trying to build a Muck on Emerald. I'm thinking something like a Curse Set, Curse Quick Claw, perhaps. If not, maybe like a bulky explosion guy. People in the Discord don't have a lot of faith in Muck, but I believe Muck can be a gold medal Pokemon. Charizard, however, is our starter on this game. So he is not bred. He doesn't have the IVs that the other guys have. So he is, home to this cartridge. So he's the only OG running around with the rejects. But I chose Charizard because in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can get one of the legendary beasts, and the legendary beast you get at the end of the game is the one that is super effective against your starter. So some of you who didn't know that, I will be replaying through these games to get all three. But Suicune so far seems to be one of the better performers in the Battle Frontier. So that's why we prioritize Charizard first. We'll get ourselves a Suicune, then we'll run it back and start with Squirtle so we can use Raikou. Next is Needle King. This is one of the Pokemon I wanted to breed because I thought it would be simple because the egg count is a lot quicker. You can turn over eggs very quickly. So met in the trade because he just didn't have exactly what we needed, but he's got some pretty high IV, so his stats are crazy. And yes, I just added the TMs on it before I sent them over. So they came over as level 5, fresh hatched Pokemon with moves already ready for battle. Magneton, I was trying to see what the best electric attacker was. I technically Gardevoir with Thunderbolt hits just as hard as a Magneton with Stab Thunderbolt. But that's why we sent him over here. He's doing the work. He's the only electric attacker. Pretty sturdy Pokemon. He takes a lot of hits. Safe switching. Tentacruel. Now I'm learning that poison types don't have a good time in the frontier because everything has earthquake, and if it doesn't have earthquake, you got to look out for psychic type Pokemon. And Tentacruel is just one of those Pokemon that's just a good Pokemon, so that's why he's on the team. And Gyarados, this is the one I don't want to spend too much time on because it's pretty straightforward. He's our best IB Pokemon. He is 4 stars. That is the symbol I use. If you go to the Battle Frontier, there's a guy that checks your IVs for you, and he'll give you 4 different classifications of IVs. And depending on what he tells you, bring these notes right here, and don't make fun of my handwriting, all right? He's going to tell you if your Pokemon is average, better than average, quite impressive, or wonderfully outstanding. The easiest way for me to articulate the strength of our Pokemon is I use a star system. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stars. So anything that is wonderfully outstanding, I will refer to it as a 4-star Pokemon. And Gyarados is our only 4-star Pokemon on this reject team because he has perfect attack, defense, special defense, and speed. So he has 431s. It doesn't get much better than that. But right now, we are currently making our way to Fuchsia City. This is going to be a slower playthrough. I'm getting all my Pokemon, as you can see, like evenly leveled up. I'm not focused on EVs whatsoever. But next on our journey, we're just going to be battling a lot of trainers. Maybe get ourselves a badge today. I'm not sure because I will have to do the Safari Zone. And with this being a playthrough of an older game, I'm not really trying to run through it. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. This is what I play when I'm listening to other streamers on YouTube. We got guys like B Breeze. He's the just team building genius. We got guys like Riley. He's more entertaining than I am, but he's definitely has high ambitions for the battle frontier. And he his grind is impeccable because one of those losses he took, I would not play the game for probably a year. I probably would have thrown it in the trash can, honestly. But some of the other channels that I watch, uh, definitely, if I throw it on in the background or if I'm watching a playback, I'll pull out my FireRed and I'll just do a quick playthrough. So yeah, so this is what we got. So everybody that's hanging out, just feel free to just yap about how you feel about Pokemon Fire Red coming out for the Switch. Do you own a Switch? Will you buy a Switch just for Pokemon? I'm not that invested yet myself, but I'm definitely willing to get Pokemon if I purchase a Switch. So that's depending on whatever else they announce on the 27th. And I never really catch the announcements. I'll be watching videos of people reacting to the announcement itself. So probably like Wolfie VGC will be the first channel I tune into. Oh yeah, by the way, on a normal playthrough, Mutt kind of just steamrolls everything on its own. The thing is, you normally get him so late in the game, you don't get a chance to see what he can do. But if you start with a level 5 Grimer in a brand new game, he's pretty unstoppable. What's up, Bloom? Every day. You think you want to get one? You think you want to get a Switch? How often do you think you'll use it though? Do you have enough downtime to just throw some games on and play around, or is it just going to be something that 20, 30 minutes here or there? Let's see. Let's just get some stab moves in here. There's not much strategy involved in this part of the game. I didn't have enough time to progress to a point where the gameplay will be more interesting because I've been at work all day. But I guess we'll give every Pokemon just a chance to shine. Every Pokemon you see has at least a minimum two perfect IVs, and I believe we only have. I think we have two four-star Pokemon. Let me look at my notes real quick. If I'm not mistaken, our Gyarados and Tentacool are both four-star Pokemon. Yeah, Gyarados having four perfect IVs just makes him easily better than everyone else. Trying to look through notes real quick. I do know that my second round of breeding Pokemon will involve egg moves. So yeah, we're gonna have another reject squad probably for the Emerald version because I have a ton of Steel that were four stars that deserve some respect. I have a bunch of Mudkip that deserves some respect, and they're gonna get their chance to run through a game from start to finish. I'm just not sure when that will take place. So yeah, I guess our goal today is go ahead and get a badge. And at the end of every stream, if you're new here, we rip a pack of Pokemon cards. That's kind of what my channel started on doing, and we're going to continue that trend. Let's see if I can get this. That's way too much light. I hope y'all don't get no seasickness. Let's see. This is supposed to. I like this. I think we can work with this one. All right. Shout out to whoever left a like on the stream. Our goal is just 10. We get 10 likes. That's a good stream in my eyes. All right. Besides, I want to give y'all more long form content anyway. I'm actually just probably if you're new to the channel and you want to know like what you can expect from subscribing, think Pokemon Emerald content. Definitely gonna do some challenges with the Pokemon cards and if ever I get my hands on a actual product. I have a lot of loose packs from vending machines, but the beautiful thing about the Pokemon cards is the challenge I had earlier, I have plenty of packs left over still. So we're gonna be ripping those just on the side. Maybe not during our live streams. I want the live streams to be focused on the actual gameplay. And as I'm learning the battle factory, I think I have enough knowledge to at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. Our last stream, if you did watch it, I may have spoke with confidence, but listen, I didn't know what was going on. I was just hoping that if I predicted anything, it will be correct. All right, so our muck is healed up. We're actually gonna have to move him to the back because once everything gets to the 40s, matter of fact, nah, 100% beat the silk already. I'm trying to think of what's something we can do real quick to get into some actual meaningful action because we're just in a terrible position right now because every Pokemon I have just sweeps all these normal types. But also just for my own sake, I want to play through where we actually like beat all the trainers. Because I watch a lot of long form videos. These 3 hour YouTube videos that other people post, and they just skip so much content. I understand like the speed aspect and like having a challenge. If I do a challenge run, it'll probably be on the Switch if I get my hands on it. So if y'all see Switch pop up, just because the larger screen, I feel like the larger screen does a better job for my current stream setup. I'm not technologically savvy like some of these other guys. The guys that got the face cam and the screen. Listen, one day I might have to pay Riley under the table for like a consulting chat room FaceTime, and then he'll probably explain to me how to get everything set up, or at least just send me an Amazon cart with everything I need to get the stream running. Good news is battle animations were already turned off for this boring part. I think the only part boring in this current grind would be if we were in Team Rocket's hideout. Good news, however, well, maybe bad news to some of the Pokemon people I associate with. There, you will not see shiny hunting on this channel. Now, when we start doing the EV grind on the Pokemon eggs that actually have value, the natures we're looking for, the IV spreads we're looking for, then there'll be a greater chance to see some actual shiny hunting, quote unquote. But that's not something that interests me. So maybe one day when we do a pickup stream with the Lanoons, then we'll go to like alternate cave or something, somewhere where there's just a ton of the same Pokemon. Because honestly, the Pokemon with the better shinies, they're never really in 100% areas because Ghastly, terrible shiny. Gengar is just is it looks the exact same. Don't want to do any static encounters either. That's just the reset, and I don't have the mental fortitude to take care of that. I think if we just hit everything with a stab move, it shouldn't matter. I don't think anything has to be super effective against these Pokemon. I think the game itself expects you to be lower level when you actually stumble across this route. But if you're taking out Pokemon in totality, let's see. Do we have? No, we don't have a map. All right, let's see. I don't even think I have a Pokemon with Fly. Okay, so we don't have Fly. We don't have a map. I was going to see whether or not we actually made it in the future already, and just go straight there, save us some time. But man, hey, we just here relaxing. Once I heard the announcement for Pokemon Fire Red, I immediately knew I was gonna have to do a live stream just to get some of this on the channel. I'm sure somebody that's watching this on a playback will tell me all about how they already have Fire Red and LeafGreen for their game system. Do Duo. Okay, I just want to give every Pokemon a chance. Who have we not really used yet? I think we were just over level for this section. I mean, hear me out. Uh, what if I go back all the way around just to test to see if we've already made it to fuchsia? Or I could just go back to the box and pick up a Pokemon with Fly. I will tell you a funny story. This Fire Red cartridge is not my original cartridge I played growing up. I do have my 20-year-old cartridges that I actually, played with as a teenager. But I only bought this cartridge strictly so I could catch a Growlithe and send them over to Emerald so I can breed for a strong Arcanine. And that's it. That's the only reason this cartridge exists in my collection. I never had Fire Red growing up. Let me turn this down a little bit. I don't know how loud it is, but y'all let me know if it was annoying. But this cartridge right here, yeah, that is my original Emerald that I got. I don't know, some Christmas, who knows, 2006 maybe, 2005. I don't know when I got it. I just remember ripping through the box and immediately playing it just nonstop, not knowing what I was doing, overpowering my starter. I didn't know about Lombre needing the Leaf Stone to evolve, so I had like a Lombre all the way to the end. Let's keep spreading this around a little bit. Just anything. Super effective moves is overrated. We just brawl at this level. To be honest, this team, when we get to the Elite Four, I'm not sure what Elite Four member could hold us back, if any. I think we have an answer for just about every Pokemon. Lorelei Magneton should be able to handle that no problem all by himself. With Bruno, however, we have Earthquake, we have Brick Break, so I'm not worried about type effectiveness. And then Gyarados and Tentacruel can just surf the Onyxes. Agatha, however, I'm not carrying psychic moves, and Gengar does have levitate. So that's going to be a different story. I guess we're just going to have to go in there and be faster. If not faster, just be able to, not deal with confusion. I'll probably just give every single Pokemon something to prevent that, spread it around. And then if you're carrying Ice Beam, Lance is just a joke completely. I might just say half the squad in there. No, nah, I need the entire squad for our first time through. I appreciate you, Mitch. All these bird keepers. Hey, shout out to a new subscriber. Hey, I appreciate you. Welcome to the channel. I'll prompt listen, just check out the shorts. At least they're coming more consistently than the lives do. And if getting Pokemon cards ever gets easier, I promise the moment getting a box of cards is an actual simple process of going down to the store and buying one for a decent price, we could do some box openings. Until then, we got to stick to the packs. We got to open 1,000 packs one day at a time. Somebody actually commented the math of what opening packs were if I got them at a fair price. And listen, I already understand financially this is not the best idea, but it'll be fun. Oh yeah, I mean the Pokemon I have are kind of over level right now, so I'm not too concerned with using stab moves. Basically, oh, you just naming facts. I mean, yeah, I guess there's some people that are less familiar with what's actually going on in Pokemon. If we have any non-Pokemon fans watching the playback, hey, this is what a typical playthrough looks like with somebody just getting their hands on the game. Like a lot of high-level gameplay you see on YouTube is guys who have just spent years researching, learning game mechanics, noticing the patterns that come with it, Pokemon, all these AI commands, like knowing the tendencies. I'm not at that level yet. I'm like one step above a beginner, and that's only because I actually played them growing up. That's the only advantage I have. I promise. If you threw my Pokemon knowledge into a Scarlet or Violet game, yeah, I'm checked out. Abiola, I didn't put any vitamins on these Pokemon. They were hatched from another game. They had good IVs, but maybe not the nature or spread that I was looking for. So I traded them to this game just to give them a fair shot because they are good Pokemon, but none of them are vitamin trained or EV trained. I just sent raw level 5 babies, and they're just really just having fun and wreaking havoc. This is their only chance they are really going to get because the other eggs all got deleted. So I want you to look at these 5 Pokemon that are here right now, the reject squad, and think about the hundreds of Pokemon that were discarded because they just weren't good enough. And Abiola, you are correct. No physical special split in this game. So Gyarados is not even at his full potential he could be. Because Gyarados with Waterfall in Gen 4, absolute monster. And I think every Pokemon needed like a stab move that helps their best attack stat. Like Absol, being a physical attacker but a dark type in Gen 3, just unfair. It didn't already frail, so I'm sure there's some creative things you could do with them, but you need a Pokemon that can actually do some damage with its stab. Like, look at Tyranitar when it got some stab physical dark type moves. Kind of eliminates building Pokemon in any other way. All the dragon types with high attack. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything over here. All right, just make sure there are no secret items. Checking around. I think we've beaten everybody. Now we can finally speed up just a little bit. If we have to do the Safari Zone, then I'm going to end the stream probably after Koga. We could probably go Koga and then Sabrina. We don't have much left to do as far as progress, though. I think most of the storyline has been taken care of. Whoa, did we not one shot? Oh, these trainers, 5 levels higher. All right, so I have to actually pay attention. And Niddle King's return isn't doing maximum damage. It's about your friendship. And very early on, Niddle Ran was getting bodied, so he might not be fully invested in our friendship yet. But I will say one thing: these my Pokemon have caveman moves right now. Nobody's really setting up anything. And I think that's fine. There's no weather. I didn't want to get too complicated with the move sets. I really just wanted to hurry up and get a game going because I had to, like I said, I had to locate Growlithe anyway. So if I'm buying a game just for one Pokemon, it's kind of like you just paying for the Pokemon. So I chose instead to just pay for another experience. Oh, levitate! Look at me not paying attention. This is what happens when we click stab moves just for the hell of clicking stab moves. And Nidoking, you're embarrassing the rest of the reject squad. I just gave you all the utmost praise. There we go. Let's get you a little bit more in the center. Behind the scenes, you guys don't even know I'm actually standing up right now because I'm very short. I'm not I'm vertically challenged. Okay, so well, actually, some would say I'm actually vertically efficient because the space I use up is to the maximum. But yeah, I got to stay in this whole stream because if I sit down, I cannot see the actual stream to make sure that you guys are watching gameplay and not like the side of a Nintendo DS. Oh, this is a terrible matchup. I don't know why I took out the Pokemon that has Earthquake. I should just make Muck earn it, honestly. None of my Pokemon have had any real setback as far as difficulty goes. I think early on was the only time because, what can you do with Magikarp? What can you really do with Nidoran Male? Who else? I think Magnemite had the best time because I just started him with Thunderbolt and Thunderbolt Magnemite in the early levels. Yeah, there's not a Pidgey left on Route 2 standing. But Grimer impressed me. Tentacool did a decent job, but we really had to earn some of these evolutions. So let's just swap out. Let's put Muck back in the front. Justice for Muck. No, we're going against bikers. Let's get Muck out of the front. Strictly because the poison type Pokemon will be going against. I think the only reason I'm biased for Muck versus Weezing is just because Weezing Weezing's kind of a one-trick pony, man. It's click explode. I know he's got the annoying moves. He's got the memento. He's got the standard poison type set, but Muck, I think if you just look at like the first 3 gens, I think he's top 10 in how much HP he has. Like Muck base HP is I think it's 100. I have it written down. I can just tell you the correct answer. I don't have to guess. So okay, Lapras base HP is 130, and Snorlax is 160. Muck's base HP is 105, but base attack 105, and then special defense 100. Like Muck's got some great stats. So all the people that told me be wary of psychic types, not worried. Muck E-Cycles types alive with that special defense. As far as taking the earthquake, not so much. But hey, put him with a flying type. Put Muck with, I don't know, Salamence. You tell me. Put him with a levitator. Muck and Claydol. Just don't use them in doubles because Claydol will eventually body Muck with too many earthquakes. This dude told me to shut up in battle. Does he not even know that I'm live streaming right now? This dude has no idea what commentary is. Can you imagine? All right, Charizard fan favorite. Go in there. And just so there's no confusion out there, I'm Team Blastoise every Gen 1 game because I played the original Gen 1 game when it came out just to show you my age. I was Team Blastoise, okay? So it just didn't make sense to take the inferior Pokemon. But I will say that most recent Charizard TCG card that came out, I love it, man. It's just Phantasmal Flames gave us one of the best artworks ever. You got to just give credit where credit is due. I don't care how much of a Charizard hater you are. That's like one of the one things that all TCG fans agree on. That card is a 1-of-1. Let's get Tentacool in there. Let's do some staff search and get out of here. I didn't even see what Pokemon had. Coffin, yeah. Coffin has physical defense. He has weak special defense. Muck is the weak physical defender. But yeah, let's just get him off the screen. I wonder what our friend has to say now, telling us to shut up in battle. And his name is Isaac. Imagine a dude named Isaac comes up to you and says, "Shut up in battle." Lack of respect. All right. So, Muck, you're still not going back in the front, but you will be the next Pokemon we need to level up, so we can just keep a uniform level for the team. My goal is when we get to the end to have every Pokemon on the same level. That's not too difficult to manipulate, but we will have to do some spreading experience around. My idea is get an experience share from another game and kind of just slap them on multiple Pokemon when we see someone about to overlevel, especially when we get to the last two trainers. I feel like probably Tentacool is whoever is going to be our main Ice Beam user is going to level up the most at the end. So maybe we just hold them back. I don't think Tentacool is the only one with Ice Beam, but I know I did not give it to Gyarados because that just makes no sense. Grimer, let's just do some Earthquakes. Get him off the screen. Mewtwo, we will not be catching Mewtwo on this cartridge. Well, Suicune's the only legendary I plan on pursuing. But I guess if people want to see Mewtwo, I can think of a funny thumbnail to put him on. I thought about just photoshopping a picture of Mewtwo and putting Muck's face on it, show who the real god of the game is. All right, and we got this train out of the way. We should probably have like what 8 more trainers left. I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see. We did take this guy out, right? I want to make sure we didn't miss anyone. And then we have a double battle coming up. Oh, we could try to see who has some synergy with the double battle. Maybe Gyarados and Nidoking do some spam earthquake action. Maybe Magneton with Thunderbolt, Tentacruel with Ice Beam teaming up together, or Magneton and Charizard. I'm thinking Earthquake spam. Earthquake is just one of those moves you just click it and don't even watch what happens. Almost leveled up on Tentacruel. All right, so we got a double battle coming up. Allegedly. So let's go ahead and get Tentacle swapped out with our Gyarados, and let's get Nidoking put in there in Muck's place. Wait, what can you do again? Sludge, Thunderbolt? Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll put Muck back in the front after we defeat these two. Got ourselves twins, Kiri and Jan. Oh, they're using base level stars. All right, I want to apologize for what's about to happen. I guess whichever Pokemon moves first wins. This is a waste. I actually was expecting higher levels over here because I don't remember the gap being this absurd. I ain't gonna lie. I thought about Earthquake and our own Little King, but he is a poison type, so he's weak to it. I didn't think about that when I decided to go double Earthquake. I guess I would have to pair one of these guys with Charizard to pull off a Earthquake spam with a partner. But let's see what we're working with. I don't think nobody has cut. I don't have any HMs. I don't the HM slave thing uh didn't cross my mind when I thought about navigating this game. But I don't think anything's up there. Maybe some trainers. But we can always just come back and do them. I'm gonna have to check my phone for the where the move deleter is located. Maybe we can slap on a cut for emergencies. Level 25. Yeah, this is just I'm not even entertained at this point. But hey, hope I feel like anybody that has watched this far into the playback is probably like just doing dishes or laundry. Let's be honest. Like no one throws on YouTube and watches the actual video anymore. Shoot, when I'm at work and I'm driving, I'll just be listening to you guys talk, honestly. I tune in to see what happens whenever there's a long pause. Like, yeah, let's speed run these last few Pokemon. Only because we're so close to the end. And I do want to just get my hands on like real competition for a while. But yeah, the early game was a bit slow. Once the Pokemon started evolving, around like Saffron City, was the Silph. Yeah, that's when the rejects started just running away with it. And Charizard being the only non-reject, he actually has to work harder to compete with levels since everybody's getting boosted experience points. But you know, Charizard's doing a good job blending in. I will say that much. So I just want him to know that he's not a reject. Okay, everybody else is a reject. Let's just drop some earthquakes. Give everybody a chance. Spread that XP around. I did consider only sending like three at a time. That way we could have two HM slaves and then our starter Pokemon and just have the XP only spread across four Pokemon. But that would have been a little bit overkill. And once we get to the disobedience level, like pretty much the game was almost just speed running the Erica so we can have till level 50 to play around with. And it's going to be not much to defeat Sabrina. Because once we get Sabrina, basically all of our rejects will obey us to the end of time. Because once these Pokemon serve their duty, they're going back to their original home on Emerald, and I'm going to put them in a box to preserve them forever. See, and this is another example right here. Nidoking is not one-shotting Pokemon 12 levels lower than him. Now, I understand we don't have maximum return. You know, he's still using moves like Peck, but I'm not sure what his perfect IV stat is, but it can't be an attack. He probably has like perfect speed or something. There's no telling. Once you make the reject squad, there's something wrong with you. I just can't quite put my finger on it. If I were to do this challenge again, I'm just thinking out loud at this point. I would give the vitamins to the Pokemon fresh out the eggs first, and then repeat the same cycle. So TM moves, you know, they'll have their egg moves, but vitamins out the jump, just maybe just 5 categories, just 10 points each spread around because we're not trying to min max any of these EVs at all. So that isn't important. Okay, we probably only have like 5 trainers left, honestly. So we're pretty much at the end. We need a Pokemon Center bad. Speaking of gamers, there's a real gamer. Riley just showed up. I'm not sure if you heard any of the beginning, but this is the reject squad. All of those eggs that we use for breeding for Battle Frontier Pokemon, you know, the ones that still churned out good Pokemon, but just didn't have the nature we wanted or just didn't have the perfect IVs that we wanted. I want to get some use out of them. Their job is to, you know, just battle and earn their place in another game. Because imagine throwing away a Magikarp with 4 perfect IVs all because he didn't have the nature you're looking for. I can't imagine doing it. So we put him in another game. We're gonna let him run wild as a Gyarados. So I think this is the most Muck is gonna get the shine because I still have not had bred a. I'm looking at my notes real quick, make sure I'm not lying. But yeah, I don't have a 4-star Muck yet. I think the only Pokemon on Emerald that are ready to be EV trained right now is definitely our Mudkip. We have a very, very good Mudkip. We have a Spheal that is a 4-star. And I want to say we have a 4-star ball toy, so we can get some Claydol shenanigans going as well. And then, of course, our other Magikarp that has perfect attack, perfect speed. Wait, no, he doesn't have 0 speed. He has perfect attack, perfect defense, perfect special attack, 24 special defense, and he does have perfect speed. Okay, so I made it up. I know he has 4 perfect IVs, but he has 0 HP. We have a hasty Bagon with 24. Hold on. Yeah, we have 2 Bagons that have just great IVs, but not the best places. So I like the hasty Bagon we have with 24 in HP, 31 in attack, 20 in defense, 22 special attack, 28 special defense, and then perfect speed. Oh, appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate the look you dropping by. Yeah, this we're not doing Nuzlocke rules, so my Pokemon are allowed to take L's, but there's just a point where everything steamrolls once they started evolving. And that kind of made the game a little bit unfair. But I'm also battling every trainer, and you know, not much leveling up and grind is going to take place in the wild. But when you battle every trainer, there's plenty of experience to go around. I almost, y'all need to see that. Almost took out the whole stream setup. Y'all have no idea what just happened. Let's straighten up a little bit. And let's just pretend it didn't happen. You know, somebody on the playback is probably not paying attention anyway, so don't worry about that. Matter of fact, yep, we lost a viewer. We almost tore down the whole setup, and we lost a viewer in the process. Oh well, that's my fault. I'm telling you, this thing is barely holding on. Okay, this setup. Maybe one day I'll do like a short or like a behind the scenes of my actual stream setup because it was an embarrassing start to the stream because the same tripod I use for all my shorts just decided it wanted to just every corner to just be loose. I'm still trying to do some adjusting with this. There we go. Just so it's not so obvious that we are at an angle. All right, let's get into it. We are finally towards the end of this just slog through trainers. Oh man, we still got people up there to battle. Don't worry about it. We're just here to relax. I got this idea while I was at work that I was streaming. I didn't even like thoroughly plan out a stream for the day. I still don't have like a stream schedule. I just said best way to have some fun after work is just do some fire red because that is what everyone's talking about right now. So we don't have to wait till the 27 to play fire red or leaf green. We got fire red, leaf green at home. But buying a Switch is tempting. You know, I'm a pretty frugal guy, but I wouldn't mind, you know, just switching it up, give y'all a bigger screen to watch on the stream. Let's see, what can we do with this artist? Yeah, it's not gonna be super effective. This should be neutral. We'll just hit them with some embers and get out of here. I didn't realize the number of Pokemon that all these trainers had. I would have thought there were more solo trainers, one or two Pokemon maximum. But luckily, with our firepower, we didn't have to go back. All right, this picnicker down. And I will have to teach cut to a Pokemon to get up there to battle those guys. But just imagine like going through here with the Verse Seeker. I'm about to tear the string down again. Maybe there's somebody that knows setups better than I do, but there's like a piece on this tripod that just doesn't want to tighten. And it's like the phone is just hanging gingerly at the top, and the whole thing is just ready to crash down, as you saw earlier. Yeah, let's just return. Let's just get him out of here. Yeah, too much firepower for these mid trainers, but once we get into the gym, because I'll do the gym first, and then we'll go into the Safari Zone. Maybe catch us 29 Toros like Ash did. All right, same thing, just return and go. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna skip them just to see about how much we have left. So yeah, these are the last two trainers. All right, so let's get them out of the way. Go to the Pokemon Center, heal up. Nice little change of pace. Probably see what if Koga can even put up with us at this moment. And we also need to see who we want to give strength to, because either gonna be Needle King or Gyarados. Because listen, we don't want fully competitive move sets. I just want everybody to have one of their best stab moves. I want everybody to have a like a top tier move, like a Earthquake, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Flamethrower. Those are just moves you want to just spread throughout the team. So you're not like I don't want Magneton to be the only Thunderbolt user because like right now it's asleep. So imagine trying to get through these flying types and the only electric Pokemon we had is knocked out. Who else is 40? Yeah, everyone's already getting to the 41s. So we are gaining progress as far as levels are going. These Pokemon are growing. I wonder if somebody took just a solo mine, right? Pick your favorite Pokemon. It really doesn't matter. Bred them in another game, sent them over in the egg level 5, and tried to go through the game, but beat every single trainer. What level would he end up on? Because whenever I look at like videos like J Rose, where he has to take like a terrible Pokemon and beat the game with it with no items, I don't think he ever mentions if he beats every trainer or not. Like he does the extra grinding and everything, but that's sort of the end of the game. Like you never even see this route in most playthroughs. I'm currently learning that there's a reason for that. All right, so this will be neutral, but we just want to get them off the screen. This picnicker is our last trainer. I wonder, maybe we can just go see if we can catch us a Dratini real quick. We could do a run where we just do catch Dratini, Tauros, Kangaskhan, and Chansey all in one go. The fun part will be that if we time out, you have to release the other Pokemon that you did catch and start over from scratch. I think that'll be interesting. There'll be some higher stakes in that one. So Tauros, Kangaskhan, Chansey, Dratini, and one Safari Go. Super possible. That's not like a tough test, but your ball management has to be king. So what's that like? 8 balls per Pokemon, hopefully. I'm thinking about it. All right, finally, that was our last trainer. Let's get out of here. I will check upstairs to see what we gotta do to get this item. So yeah, so this is the experience here. I was right. I didn't know if this was the item fighter or not. 44. All right, so yeah, we'll catch 6 more Pokemon. We'll do that in Safari Zone. All right, finally, we made it. Guys, first stop. Let's get to this Pokemon Center. Oh, maybe we can check. There should be 3 trainers to the left and see if we can handle those guys real quick. But we want to get our badge first things first. And we've got Earthquake users. We have no Psychic users, but that's just not going to be necessary. And I think Koga is the first like level jump in the game because you do jump from Koga and Sabrina because I guess what you have in the option to battle either or. The game wants to make sure that it's just as difficult. So all these guys are like bird keepers. So we're just gonna keep it simple. Oh, did I beat them already? Oh, they're already taking care of everybody. So yeah, I knew I've been through Future already. So we came down here and level up. So let's just get straight into defeating every trainer in Koga's gym. Let me see. Gyarados could really just steal the show here, but I want to show some love. You know, everybody's a reject in their own right, and that's why we're really here. So let's just start battling. I'm gonna let you know beforehand. This pattern isn't as easy to see as I thought it would be on the floor. 34. I guess they're not that close in level, but we did. I think everybody just leveled up like 2 or 3 levels each. Oh, that doesn't one shot. I thought Middle King was the only Pokemon we had incapable of one shotting. Yeah, this Magneton has perfect speed. I'm not sure what his other IV is. Every there's not a single Pokemon on the reject squad that has less than 2 perfect IVs. I just don't remember who is who. So let's just erase Kadabra from the screen. All right. So Magneton got his time to shine. Let's just switch to Tentacruel. I think every trainer should be a different Pokemon. All right. No surprise there. Magneton is a beast. I'll tell you that Magneton early game as a Magnemite kind of unbeatable at one point. I think it was like the Pokemon that took off the quickest besides Tentacool, knowing Surf. All right. So level 38. So this is going to be our first actual battle that, there might be a little resistance, but let's just be honest. Tentacool clicks Surf and then goes home. Say attack rolls. We're not worried about it. A Psychic, however, will hurt Tentacool, but Tentacool has such high special defense. I'm not too worried about it. He's one of the Pokemon that you just trust to handle his own business. So Hypno is down. So now we're seeing that the level range is near us. So Koga should be having level 40s. I just don't know exactly what he'll have. I'm going to give this Dropout one final chance to level out. Let's do it this way. Let's lift this up. Okay. This is my final attempt to make this stream level. And I'm going to leave it alone from there. All right. Tentacruel leveling up. Everybody is on the same level, but we are just swapping around, giving everyone a chance to defeat a trainer on our own. Let's go Muck this time because I just want to save Gyarados for Koga. Only because I'm just not sure if Nidoking can handle it, even though he does have Earthquake. So let's see what this guy's all about. 4 Pokemon, yeah, and Psychic types, yeah. Muck, here's your chance to prove. Let's see. Hold on. What was Muck's special defense again? I think 100 base special defense. Ooh, Jay Mills just dropped another diss track. Okay, let's see. Can't wait to check that out when the stream is over. Swampert, Sceptile, Lapras, Cradilly, Muck. Yep, 100 base defense. So base special defense. Oh, sorry, I misspoke. 75 base defense. It's not good, Muck. I thought you was a little bit better than that. Imagine Muck outspeeding and hitting you with a stab move. That's one psychic type down. This Drowsy should experience the same fate. Yep. See, you can't lose to psychic moves if they never hit you. That's what I was trying to tell everybody. Okay, we just got hit by a psychic move and it did not much. And that's from a Kadabra, okay? Kadabra is no joke in this game. I just think in the battle frontier, when we're all equal level 100, that's going to do way more damage. So, but luckily, Muck is more like a battle dome Pokemon because if you're only avoiding Earthquake and Psychic, and let's say you bring a flying type Intimidate user, you're not worried about that Earthquake at all, okay? So whatever you see the Pokemon that your opponent have, you can choose whether or not to bring them up, but you better have 2 Pokemon that can handle their own. But definitely Battle Dome Muck is just, I just want to show him some love. So who has not battled yet? I think we got Charizard, Nidoking, and Gyarados left. Oh, we're supposed to battle everybody. Come here. Let's see what this guy's all about. Tamer Edgar. I mean, I can see somebody being like a snake tamer, having an Arbok and, having his own training class for that. And we're getting to the hour mark and we are finally like knee deep in the actual gym. Sand Slash. Not a good matchup, but we're not optimizing matchups right now. I probably should turn shift mode off, honestly. But when you're just being casual, just laying back, it just takes a couple extra seconds per matchup. But that's also my how I spread the experience points around because we were getting close to the disobedient level with everybody having boosted experience. And that kind of would have derailed the whole thing because our starter can only do so much. All right, and Tamer Edgar is down. All right, now how many trainers do we have left? Two left. So that means somebody is going to have to double dip, and I guess it'll be Gyarados. Gyarados can take care of the last two Pokemon. I gotta find a way to battle the trainer up there. These lines are actually like harder to see the puzzle. When they redid them, that line kind of looks obvious. Not so much this go around. All right, so Nil King also scared of psychic types, but we're just too high level for that to matter. Stab, Earthquake should handle both of his Pokemon. So Drowsy 1 is down, and our friend Juggler Sean is going to send out a Hypno. And that should just be one Earthquake. I actually used to think that these Pokemon, because the gym trainers were always so weak, weren't good. Like Hypno, Weezing, like there's some pretty good Pokemon. Hold on. See, Middle King is showing time and time again that he's just not it. But that's why he's on the reject squad. I wish I would have remembered what his IV spread is because it would probably make a lot more sense. Because it is not attack at all. But don't worry. If he's on the squad, we love him just as equally as everyone else. Because we all are rejects in our own right. So let's swap him out and put Gyarados to the front. Gyarados will be the one to take on Koga and finish this gauntlet. But we can't leave a single trainer unbattled. And these trainers, you cannot go back and battle them after you defeat the gym leader. So Tamer Field is going to send out a Sand Slash against our Gyarados. And we just have the speed, we have the power. It's an unfair matchup. Oh, Sand Slash lived Water Pulse. Okay, so that's what happens when you don't put Surf on your Gyarados. But Surf is on our Tentacool, and I just didn't. I thought it would be redundant to put Surf on both of them because I don't plan on Gyarados having like stab water all the way through. She's just gonna have four attacking moves and utilize that perfect attack that he does have. Ooh, didn't think about the intimidate though. It shouldn't matter. Super effective earthquake -1 attack takes out the Arbok anyway. So Tamer Field has gone down, and we're gonna keep Gyarados in the front and take on our fearless leader Koga. No need to save. Saving is overrated. We'll save at the end of this. I wish Koga did like Lieutenant Surge, and when his setup, his gimmick went away, it just went away permanently. You could walk out the gym. So yeah, this is our last battle. We're gonna defeat Koga. We're gonna rip a pack of Pokemon cards. Probably this Journey Together pack right here. And that'll be the stream. Just 1 hour laid back. It's getting late for me. I know it was late for a few other people. But remember, this was a last second idea. Just wanted to throw some content up. This is what I would have done on my own accord anyway. On any other Friday night. Anybody watching? Any of y'all work on weekends? You know, because Friday night for a lot of people is your time to lay back and relax. I will be clocking right back in for another 10 hours like I did today. So let me know out there, you working people that find time to play some Pokemon. How do you balance it? And we get boomed on self-destruct in Gyarados' face, and we are about at half HP. But Koga's sending out Muck, and I just think one Earthquake should be able to take this out. And we are still missing. So minimize plus the smoke screen, and we still connect with Earthquake. And Gyarados is a beast. Yeah, Gyarados soloing Koga. Just let me know how many of y'all predicted that would be the setup. And I actually don't with our accuracy drop. I just don't feel like dealing with it. I think that'll be more annoying than what it's worth. So we'll just send our starter in there. Did I hit the wrong button? Oh my! Listen. I just pretend to be a gamer, y'all. All right, so we're missing attacks again. That is why I wanted to swap out because the smoke screen just makes this like we know who is gonna win, but we just had to connect once. Yeah, so now we're badly poisoned. We're missing. We're doing smoke screens. If this doesn't land, we're swapping Gyarados out. Yeah, Gyarados, you did your best. I think we were one smoke screen from sweeping this entire gym. But let's just get Charizard in here, do some stab flamethrowers, and call it a day. We got to show love to a fan favorite. You know what? The people that like to say that Charizard is overrated. Listen, I'm not a huge Charizard fan, but the man is cool. So you got to give him that. The whole best starter, not even close. He's not even top five. But Charizard's cool. Pikachu, madly overrated. He's just the mascot. That's all he got going for him. Y'all want to hear my Lucario hot take? I don't think Lucario's all that cool. I lied. Like, come on, let's be serious, y'all. Lucario's awesome. Some Pokemon just deserve it. I think Lucario should be getting like the love that Umbreon receives in the TCG world should be Lucario. Like, let's just call it what it is. All right, so our starter Charizard has leveled up. We're getting paid. We can now use Surf outside of battle. Finally, you just have no idea how treacherous it's been maneuvering. Let's see. And let's just get out of here. I believe Gyarados will survive until we get to the Pokemon Center. All right, let's heal up, rip a pack of Pokemon cards, and call it a night. I'd like to thank you all that tuned in with me, the people that stayed for the live stream. The live never went to zero viewers. That is a milestone in my eyes. With me having a small channel and not being that known of a creator, staying like in the 2 or 3 viewer range, it means a lot to me because that means that somebody, even if they just threw it on in the background, it didn't pay attention. Hey, that's all YouTube cares about. But we are going to rip this pack of Journey together before we get out of here because I got to give love to the people who were here last year when we did our pack opening challenge. So that is why I will continue to rip packs on the page, even though I said open it up every day. It's no longer going to happen. All right. So there's our energy card. Let's just move this out of the way. It's kind of distracting. We have ourselves a Psychic Beldum card. This is Journey Together. We have ourselves Torkoal. That is great art, just for what it's worth, especially with us playing a Gen 3 game. If we were playing Emerald, we would be going at the Torkoal for real. Kamala, Cole, Mala, Harris. Don't worry about it. All right, Coffin. We saw plenty of Coffin battling Koga. I think we have had enough Coffin for today. Trainer Carl with Iris's Fighting Spirit into the Octillery. That's a weird Pokemon. I never considered Octillery a Pokemon I would use in any playthrough. I do remember like playing with a Remoraid and not understanding that it will one day evolve. I just thought it was bad. But we have Hops Cramorant, and if we're gonna get anything, it's gonna happen after these reverse hollows. Aceligar is our first one. Journey Together has shown us love before. There's the Remoraid to finalize that evolution line. And we're going to end today on Lily's Rabumbi. All right. Thank you for coming to the stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If not, leave a like anyway. It takes nothing to just drop a like, even if you hated it. Leave me a hate like. All right. But that's all I have for you all tonight. Enjoy your weekends, everyone. Goodbye.